Welcome back to Driveway Party! Look, we got a new radiator. Time to take the car out the Mathis Motorsports. Here we go. Alright, welcome back to Driveway Party. I did not get it on video, but this is Chris Menza's CTSV engine block. We took the crankshaft and all 8 pistons and rods out of it to try to make it way less so that it's easy for mocking up in the Camaro. I mean, I just went, oh, it's heavy with one hand. Well, with 2 hands, it's not so bad. But it'll be easier to move the thing around to try to get it to lay flat in the engine bay. I did bolt on the Camaro and Firebird motor mounts, and then this is the oil pan that I need to use in the car. I don't know if you could see like how deep, look at how much far, look how much past the oil filter the pan goes. And on this, that filter will probably only about go to there. So it's a more shallow pan, but it does go more forward on the engine. Like it probably goes to about here. So I have this engine to bring with me tomorrow to Sean Mathis Motorsports. Oh, my hood's locked. I did read up on the roll cage a little bit, and I really should remove this headliner that's sagging because there's going to be a lot of welding up here, and I just don't want it catching on fire when he's trying to weld the roll cage in. So I'm going to go ahead and take this headliner down and load this car onto the car trailer. So hang in there. Whew, broke it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Out here breaking my car. So fragile. Okay. Look at this. It's like made out of like, it's probably asbestos. Anyway, alright, so now that that's done, I'm going to put the dome light back up and close everything up, put the T-top back on, and get this thing on the trailer. Alright, you guys see this? I got the scale zeroed out, C-Jack 0.0. I've got the headliner, sun visor, and then this was the A-pillar. There was some kind of there was a aftermarket security system in this, so some wiring for that, and the screws. It's all on there. We've got 4.2 pounds. 4.0, 4.2, 4.2. So I always say there's another 100 pounds I could take off of this car, and I just keep taking 5 pounds out. Every couple of months I find a little more. Not pictured, I took out the whole center console. That's probably 4 pounds in itself. And I'm curious what this driver's seat weighs, because I have the Kirky seat, the race car seat. What's this way? Woo. Wow, 41 pounds, the driver's seat. This is the passenger seat. A little difficult to balance. Passenger seat weighs 30.8 pounds. So, what was the other one? 42 pounds plus 30 pounds, 72. I took 75 pounds out of this car. That being said, I have to still put seats back in it, so I'll have to subtract that. But, geez, that's another 100 pounds right there. I could still, the fuel tank in this, the older style, the pre-1996 fuel tank, is quite a bit heavier. I'm pretty sure it's like 15 pounds heavier. I could get the plastic newer style fuel tank. It still has lots of glass. I could do a Lexan rear. I mean, geez, it's could be another 200 pounds, but I also am installing a roll cage, and the turbo system is going to be pretty heavy too. So I'm pretty excited to see what this thing weighs when I'm done and driving it. Okay, tangent. So if you have a 3,000 pound car and it's has 500 horsepower, you divide 3,000 by 500 to get the power to weight ratio, which is 6. So you have 6 pounds per horsepower. So if you have a 4,000 pound car, if you have a 4,000 pound car, you need 666 horsepower to equal 6.006 pounds per horsepower. Look at the difference. That's 166 horsepower for just taking out 1,000 pounds. Now, that is a lot of weight, so, I mean, we'll make it more realistic. The difference between 3,000 pounds and what's a realistic number of a mildly lightweight car would be 3,300 pounds divided by, hang on, let me do the math. All right, so it actually works out to be exactly 550 horsepower equals the same weight ratio. So 300 pounds is totally realistic for somebody to take out of a car. I mean, I just showed you just between the seats and the headliner. Never mind the fact, I think at one point I weighed, it was like 600 to 800 pounds that I've taken out of this car. So, I mean, 50 horsepower is nothing to sneeze at, you know, that's quite a bit. That's a big difference. If you were racing on the highway, you'd be like, I don't know, 2 lengths ahead of somebody, equal car to equal car. So it's crazy how much a little bit of weight can do. That's why I waited so long to do a roll cage in a Camaro, is I just didn't want to add the extra weight. So, yeah, 300 pounds is like 50 horsepower. That's a good thing to go by. All right, so this 3,000 pound and 500 horsepower goal for the Camaro is really not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for more like 600 horsepower. But let's just stick with this. So a new Dodge Challenger Hellcat makes 717 horsepower, but it weighs 4428 according to Google. In order to get that 6 pounds per horsepower, it would have to have 738 horsepower. But it comes with 717 horsepower. So from a highway race, not from a stop, the Camaro would have it beat, even with 500 horsepower, which is pretty close to where it was before. It probably would have been a good race. But I just also want to point out that there's Hondas floating around that weigh 2,200 pounds. A lot of them weigh that little amount. Some of them even under 2,000 pounds. But let's just say 2,200 pounds. It would take 366 horsepower for the same power to weight ratio. So 738. So these so a 3,000 pound car with 500 horsepower is the same as a 28 pound car with 738 horsepower versus a Honda with 2,200 pounds with 366 horsepower. So think of that when you see those little racer cars rolling around. For what it's worth, the K Series Honda on a stock engine, I think the K24, they can handle 600 horsepower. So imagine this 600 horsepower in a 2,200 pound car. The thing would be a missile. So maybe I'll make 600 in my 3,000 pound Camaro. That's the goal for now. End rant. Well, I started a new project by accident. We had an oil drum outside that was leaking. We had already drained it, so I'm making, I don't know if you can see, I'm making a patch for this trailer fender. We had tried a while ago to find a replacement one, and it's kind of a weird size, so I'm just going to make a patch panel for now. It'll look a lot better. I just figured I'd show you real quick. Have to trim a little bit right here. I'll mark it with a Sharpie. The edges of this panel are just super sharp. Maybe a little more right here, little bendy bend. We're good.